All right, welcome back to Morning Live. We're still coming to you live from Harib Dam. We're in the Free State Province this morning. We're dissecting the State of the Province address and the budget that was tabled by MEC Rockman yesterday. So I said you at home can become part of the discussion at Morning Live SABC. We're using TNA Biz Brief, and we'll be able to go through your questions this morning. Well, Premier, you made mention of the Maluti zone economic development, and there's a question here for you from one of our viewers, Tambo in Kwakwa, and he says that Maluti zone thing has been just a talk for over a decade now. Why has it taken so long? Remember that we also have empty factories in Kwakwa, Harrismith and Botshabelo, whereas thousands and thousands of the Free Staters are unemployed.
You must remember that during the apartheid times, companies from Taiwan were subsidized. They were given money to pay salaries. And that's not what this government is actually doing. That's why you have those empty factories standing there. That is the legacy of apartheid homeland system. Now the special economic zone has to get a license. It's a process, it takes more than 2-3 years. And once we have been given a license, we then set up. And that's why I'm saying already in the zone, roads have been made, the infrastructure is there, the lights are there, there must be safety. And then people who are going to invest are international companies, which are going to get special incentives and tariffs and tax incentives. So it's a process, and that's why our people must have patience and understand that job creation does not happen overnight. It takes long, and it's affecting the entire world. It's not about the Free State. It's about the structure of the economy across the globe. You can go to America with the new President Trump. The challenge is unemployment. And that's why our people must start using their hand and wake up and work hard, not just sleep, and make sure that they are not job seekers, but job creators, and they must think innovatively and creatively.
And I believe that people are impatient because of poverty, Premier. But talk to us about the international investors. You made mention of them. Do you have investors as a reason board now?
Well, I've said we have, and indeed we do have international investors. If you come here in Bloemfontein in the real estate, look how many houses are there, how many investors have been there. Boxmo International is one of the companies which has been there. The Chinese, the Turkish, the Cubans, the Russians are here. And investment takes long. And South African companies are investing in this province. Whether it's Vodacom, whether it's MTN, all South African companies are here in this province. And even our local Free State companies, black and white, they've created a lot of jobs.
All right. Well, just before we go onto the floor, let me go to the table right here in front. That is where all the MECs are seated this morning. I'm just going to give them a minute to say something in relation to the budget that was tabled yesterday. If you can just get the microphone to the table where the MECs are seated. I see MEC Matabo Leeto from the Department of Sports. Let me start with you, MEC Leeto. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
It's working.
Oh, thank you very much, Palisa, and let me recognize the leadership on the panel and everybody this morning. I think as the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, we are very much grateful about the budget which was presented by MEC Rockman yesterday and the directives in the State of the Province address. And you would realize that we are the least funded department, but our attitude has been that we will do more with the little that we have as the department. That's why I don't want to reveal what I would say in my budget vote now, but Premier in his State of the Province address in 2016, he indicated that the previous year was a year of the Free State artists. Now there's a program that would outline during our budget speech, because the radical economic transformation cuts across all departments. It's not only about economic development. Therefore, even ourselves as the department, would have to ensure that the procurement that we do and the goods and services, the budget of the goods and services that we have is going to favor the majority in our province, which happens to be black business people who are doing business with us as the department. So there are many things that we are going to say in our budget vote. We don't want to reveal them now.
But I would imagine that you'll also be talking about the new studios that will be in my hometown on Fixberg, Paris as well. But we'll wait and listen. What you have to say.
Yes, just hold your horses and wait for the 27th.
Thank you so much. All right, that's the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture in the Free State, Matabo Lieto. And next to her is the MEC of Health, MEC Butana Kompela. Health being one of the critical issues. MEC, if I were to make mention of hospitals like Mufumadi Manapo in Kwako, hospitals like Bongani in Velkom, people are crying all over. What do you have to say on the budget and in relation to all other issues of health?
Thank you, Palisa, and morning to the panelists. I think, Palisa, you were crying 2 months ago, a month ago. At Manapo, you will see there, and anybody would see that there is a quite revolution going on there on the renovation and put Manapo at a better situation.
All right, so things have changed.
Things have changed.
Let's hear from our viewers.
Not completely changed, but things have changed.
All right, at Morning Live SABC, how are things at Mufumadi Manabo Mupedi Hospital in
At Bongani, I was personally there.
Yeah.
Things are changing too there. Yes, there were some problems there, but they were not insurmountable, and we are equal to the task on those challenges that are there. Oh. Bongani has hospitals now, 100% confident. Manapo has doctors, 100% confident. In this coming financial year, we will be putting nurses around the hospitals. We are not going to give them a Rolls Royce, but at least they will have a Mercedes-Benz for them to deliver the service.
Well, MEC Butana Kompela, the MEC of Health in the Free State Province, there you have it. Well, next to MEC Butana Kompela, one of the critical departments as well, MEC for Housing and Traditional Affairs, MEC Sisi Ntombela. You in department for how long have you been here now, MEC?
Almost 6 months.
Almost 6 months?
Yes.
All right, so Beile Mautufats, you know the issues now.
Yes.
Talk to us about your take on the budget.
Thank you, Palisa. Yesterday we were very much excited because the budget of the MEC was talking exactly to what the premiers asked us to do, radical approach. So one of the things that we are going to do radically is to make sure that we complete the incomplete houses. We must make it a history now. We must close that chapter. We are going to do it radically. And we are going to build houses in a radical way. And we are going to use black companies. Although we are going to use other companies, but the Premier said it, Africans in particular, blacks. So we are going to use that. And we are also going to make sure that even women companies are going to be part and parcel of building the houses. The radical thing that we are going to do is to make sure that our people get the title deed, because most of our people don't have the title deeds. And we have said we want to give people land. So we are going to do it radically. Our people must get their title deed. And we are still going to support the local government, especially the smaller local government where there is no money. So we are also going to do it in a nice way, very radically assisting them. But we are saying to our people, we are not going to allow corruption, especially people who are selling RDP houses. Our people are selling RDP houses with 30,000. We are not going to allow it. We are going to fight it. You can't get a house free and sell it with 30 rand. There are so many people are waiting for their houses. Thank you.
And what are you going to do in relation to the issue of ESCOM and some municipalities that owe ESCOM MEC? How are you going to radically change that situation?
We have already started. We know that most of our people don't pay their services. Some of them are poor, some of them, they just don't want to pay. That's number one. That is why most of the local government are suffering, because people don't pay services at all.
People are unemployed. Maybe that's the issue.
Yes, I'm saying others are unemployed, others are not unemployed. Others are supposed to pay. Oh. But we must come with a way Palisa, to assist our people to pay their services. Right. But we have already formed a team in the Free State, the team that is including the DG, the MECs and everybody. So we are still negotiating with ESCOM, and we are going to make sure not even a single municipality, the electricity is going to be cut.
All right.
Thank you,
All right.
Madam.
Thank you so much to MEC Sisi Ntombela, the MEC of Human Settlement, Local Government, as well as Traditional Affairs. Well, I'm going to come to you, MEC Dr. Benny Malagwan. I'm quickly going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting to them. But please send through your questions at Morning Live SABC. We're using TNA BizBrief.